All right, so today we are diving deep into something that's
Super tactical.
yeah, totally.
I like that.
So it's all about helping Google really understand what your content is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And the SEO world, they call that semantic SEO,
Right.
which sounds kind of complicated.
That sounds fancy.
It does sound fancy.
But it's really not.
But when you break it down, it's like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So imagine this.
Yeah.
You're an SEO consultant, and you've got this client who's all about dog training in Dubai.
Okay.
And they want to rank higher on Google,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So how do we even begin to approach that?
Right. Yeah.
So get your notepads ready.
I love this topic.
Yeah.
Because it is something that people get so hung up on.
Totally.
They think SEO is just about like cramming keywords onto your website.
Like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But Google's smarter than that now. Like we've moved past that.
Way past.
Most people said they're still targeting like one keyword
Oh, wow.
or just a handful.
Awful.
Yeah, so you can see we need to switch this up.
Right.
Because it's really not about that anymore.
Yeah, it's got to be about more than that.
It's about meaning. It's about like what is it that the searcher is really looking for?
All right, what's their intent?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about just matching words anymore.
So this video uses dog training in Dubai as like the example.
Yes.
And I thought it was so fascinating that like the pages that rank at the top
Right.
don't necessarily have that exact phrase
Right.
like plastered all over them.
No.
It's more nuanced than that.
It's more nuanced. It's more like you're whispering it to Google.
Right. Exactly.
It's about shouting it.
Instead of like screaming it.
Right.
Yeah, it's very subtle. So a couple of websites that rank really well. And yes, some of them don't even have dog training in Dubai on the page at all.
Right.
But they use all these other words.
Yeah.
So how do we figure that out? Like, how do we know what Google sees as semantically relevant? What are those magic words?
Well, and that's exactly what I love about this video because they go through this quick and dirty method that I use all the time.
Okay, I'm ready.
And it all starts with Google.
Okay.
So you take your main keyword, in this case, dog training in Dubai, and you go to Google and you start searching.
So Google's giving us the answers.
Yes.
Okay.
You go to related searches.
Okay.
And you go to people also ask. And you look at what is Google bolding in those suggestions.
Okay.
Because that's telling you, like, hey, this is what people are searching for that is related to your main keyword. You know, Google is telling you straight up.
It's like Google's giving us the cheat sheet. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So it's like we're eavesdropping on what people are actually searching for.
Yes, exactly.
Not just like that one main phrase.
Exactly.
Okay. And then what? What do we do with that information?
Well, you'll notice patterns, right?
Okay.
Like maybe it's puppy training or dog trainers near me or positive dog training or obedience training, things like that.
So all these little variations.
Yeah, and you start to see these clusters appear of related terms.
So I'm not just saying dog training in Dubai over and over again.
Right.
But I'm kind of like weaving in these related terms.
Exactly.
And that makes it like a richer, more relevant piece of content.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's where the magic really happens.
So we're not just targeting one keyword.
No.
We're targeting a whole family.
Yeah, a whole cluster of keywords.
Yes.
Which means you could potentially rank for all sorts of longer, more specific keywords.
I like it.
You know?
Yeah.
And Google sees you as more of an authority.
Right, right.
When you're doing this.
Not just like trying to game the system.
Exactly.
All right, so we use Google's suggestions.
Yeah.
We find these related keywords. Now, how do we actually put them into practice?
That's what we'll talk about next.
So hang on, folks. We're about to get really tactical with how to implement all this semantic SEO goodness on your website.
Stay tuned.
So don't go anywhere.
Okay, so now that we have our list of keywords from Google, how do we actually use them on the page?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Right.
It's one thing to like know what they are, but how do we actually weave them in and make it all work?
Yeah, so let's break it down step by step.
Okay, I love it.
So first up,
got
to look at your page title.
Right.
Because that's the first thing Google sees.
Makes sense.
Right. And it's a huge signal to them about what the page is about.
Okay.
So instead of just having a title that says dog training in Dubai, we can spice it up a bit.
Okay, how so?
So for example, we could use something like dog training in Dubai. Find the best trainer near you.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right.
So we're still hitting that main keyword?
Yes.
But we're also adding in those little golden nuggets that we found.
Right, exactly.
Like best in near me.
Yes. And those are things that people are actually searching for.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like we're speaking Google's language.
Well, exactly.
Okay, so that's the title. What about headings?
Oh, headings are so important because
Yeah.
they break up your content.
Right.
They make it easier for people to read,
Right.
but they also give Google more clues about what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
So you could have a heading like, how much does dog training in Dubai cost?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, hitting that cost keyword.
Exactly. And we know from Google that people are searching for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could have another heading like, experienced dog trainers in Dubai come to you.
Right.
So now we're talking about experienced trainers. And we're highlighting that maybe they offer home services.
Okay, so each heading is like another opportunity to really reinforce what the page is about.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it. And then we get to the actual body content.
Right, and that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, because you don't want to just stuff keywords in there.
Right, it's got to sound natural.
It's got to flow.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you're writing naturally about dog training in Dubai,
Yeah.
you're going to use those words anyway.
Right, like dog and training in Dubai.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is also sprinkle in those other related terms.
Okay.
You know, like puppy training and obedience classes and positive reinforcement, things like that.
Okay, so it's like finding that balance.
Yes.
Between using enough keywords to signal to Google, but not overdoing it.
Exactly.
But the point where it sounds like,
Yeah.
a robot wrote it.
Right. We want to write for humans first, but keep Google in mind.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. And I think another thing that's really important is internal linking.
Oh, yeah, the video mentioned that.
Yeah. So internal linking is basically like creating these pathways throughout your website. So let's say you have another page on your website about puppy training tips.
Okay.
You could link to that page from your dog training in Dubai page.
Yeah, sure.
And use anchor text. Like, get a head start with our puppy training tips.
Okay, so the anchor text is like the clickable text.
Yes.
With those relevant keywords.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what this does is it tells Google, hey, these two pages are related.
Okay.
They're part of this bigger conversation.
Gotcha.
About dog training in Dubai.
So we're not just optimizing each page in isolation. We're like connecting them all together.
Yes. Exactly.
I love it. It's like building an SEO web.
Yes. And it all helps Google understand the structure of your website.
Okay. And I imagine that helps with rankings too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And it also helps with user experience.
Right. Because if I'm on the website and I see that link, I might be like, oh, yeah, puppy training tips. That's useful.
Exactly.
And then I click on it and I stay on the site longer.
Yeah. And Google sees that.
And everybody's happy.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. Win-win.
So semantic SEO is really about creating a better experience for everyone, for both the search engines and the users.
Right.
So now that we've kind of gone through how to put this into practice, let's talk about some of the key takeaways.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm ready. So we've talked a lot about semantic SEO, but for someone who's just starting out, what's like the one big thing they should remember?
I think the biggest thing is to really shift your mindset. Stop thinking about keywords as just like individual words and start thinking about them as like concepts. Think about the topic you want to rank for and then just create really awesome content around that using a bunch of related terms and phrases.
So instead of obsessing over dog training in Dubai, I should be thinking about becoming like the ultimate resource for everything dog training in Dubai.
Exactly. Like become the expert, the authority. Answer every single question someone might have, even if they don't directly type it into Google.
Okay, so it's almost like we're trying to read the searcher's mind and give them what they need before they even know they need it.
Yeah. And Google is getting much better at understanding that intent behind the search, too. If someone's searching for dog training Dubai prices, they probably don't just want a list of prices.
Right. They want the whole picture.
Exactly. They want to know, like, what are the different factors that affect price? What's a reasonable price range? Maybe even like personal experiences or reviews. It's about context.
It's like we're having a conversation with them, not just throwing keywords at them.
Exactly. And the more natural and engaging we can make that conversation, the more likely they are to stick around, explore the website, and become a customer.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I have a much better grasp on how to approach SEO strategically and really create content that people will love and that Google will love too.
That's awesome. And remember, SEO is always evolving. Google is always making changes. So the key is to stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Speaking of learning, If someone wants to learn more about semantic SEO, where should they go? And of course, everyone should subscribe to the SEO Matrix YouTube channel for more SEO tips and tricks.
Yes, we're always sharing the latest SEO strategies, and we're passionate about helping businesses succeed online.
So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you found this deep dive valuable, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.
We want to help as many people as possible master semantic SEO.
Well, on that note, I think the biggest takeaway is that semantic SEO is about more than just keywords. It's about creating a valuable experience for your audience. So really think about your users, what they need, and create content that answers their questions.
And remember, Google loves websites that provide a great user experience, so focus on creating high-quality content. The rankings will follow.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. Until next time, happy optimizing.